Soft winds whisper through ancient lands, where temples rise like quiet dreams beneath the stars. In these sacred places, battles were once fought, not for riches, but for devotion, honor, and the light that dwells in the human heart. Tonight, let us drift into those distant echoes, where courage and faith intertwine like the gentle flow of a river. The clashing of swords and the chant of warriors may seem distant now, yet beneath it all lies a serene rhythm, an eternal dance between human longing and the divine. Let the spirit move slowly, tracing each moment as if it were a candle flickering in the stillness of night. As we wander through these lands, imagine temples bathed in golden light, their stones holding stories older than memory. Here, the battles we hear are softened by time, leaving only the essence of devotion, courage, and peace to cradle your mind. If you feel your heart settling with this journey, you may share where you're listening from, or quietly subscribe to follow more stories that ease your sleep. The morning stretches slowly across the quiet hills. A pale light brushes the tops of ancient stones, casting long shadows that lean gently like resting hands. Soft winds move through the tall grasses, carrying the faint scent of earth and dew. Somewhere, a small stream murmurs, winding between the roots of trees and the edges of the temple grounds. Its voice is low and steady, a calm rhythm that settles the heart. You float above the temple, seeing its high walls bathed in the first tender colors of dawn. The stones, worn by countless seasons, seem to hum softly. Each mark, each curve holds a memory. Here, devotion has rested for centuries in whispers and in silence. The banners above the walls sway lightly, caught in the early breeze. Their colors are muted in the morning light, but they move with a gentle grace, like the sigh of the world waking slowly. On the courtyard below, figures stir. Warriors, their movements soft and deliberate, step lightly on the cool stones. Their eyes are quiet, their breaths measured. They do not hurry. The day has just begun, and the space around them is vast and still. Their hearts hold the weight of long nights of preparation, yet the dawn softens the edges of all tension. They fold their hands, touch the hilt of a sword, or pause to watch the rising sun. Each gesture carries reverence, each pause a small offering of peace. In the distance, birds rise into the pale sky. Their wings make only a whisper against the soft air. They circle the temple, a gentle chorus of movement guiding attention upward. You watch as they drift over the walls, their small shadows tracing paths on the stone. The morning feels endless, open, yet intimate. Even the wind seems to carry blessings. Each note, each sigh, reminds the heart that all is safe here. The temple doors stand slightly ajar, welcoming the first light. Inside, incense curls into the air in slow spirals. A faint golden glow reflects off the carved walls, dancing across the silent floors. Each step inside is cushioned with stillness. You hear the distant sound of drums, soft and low, echoing across the courtyard. They are not urgent. They are a heartbeat, a gentle signal that life continues, even when sleep lingers at the edges of the mind. As the sun lifts higher, the temple gardens begin to breathe with life. Flowers open with soft sighs, petals unfurling as if stretching after a long rest. Water flows over stone basins, and the faint splash is like a lullaby. Tiny insects stir, their movements delicate and fleeting, reminding the watcher of the quiet persistence of life. Everything in this sacred space moves at the pace of patience, of gentle awakening. A small group of priests move slowly through the halls, their robes brushing the floors with soft whispers. Their hands are empty, yet full of intention. They carry no hurry, no fear, only presence. You drift alongside them, feeling the pulse of ritual and prayer mingling with the soft light. A candle flickers near an altar, its flame bending in the breath of the room. The shadows it casts are not harsh, but protective, wrapping the space in warmth. Beyond the walls, the distant mountains rise like silent guardians. Their peaks are touched with the pale pink of early morning. The wind carries stories from those heights, gentle tales of seasons and stars. You imagine the sky stretching forever above, deepening in color as the sun climbs. Clouds drift lazily across the horizon, soft and unhurried. They remind the mind that the world itself moves with a tender patience, and that all things have their own rhythm. The warriors gather at the outer courtyard now, standing in small circles. Their faces are calm, reflective. There is no need for command here, no need for urgency. They listen to the soft beating of drums and the whisper of the wind through stone and grass. Each breath they take is deliberate, connecting them to the temple, to the light, to the earth beneath their feet. In this moment, even the memory of conflict feels distant, softened by mourning and intention. From the highest tower, a lone sentinel watches the horizon. The figure is still, eyes tracing the movement of clouds and birds. The heart beats quietly in the chest, steady and soft, matching the rhythm of the world below. The temple itself seems to breathe with them, stone and life united in silent meditation. You feel it too, a gentle settling within your chest, a quiet letting go. As the morning unfolds, the temple gates open fully. The golden light flows through, illuminating steps and walls with a soft embrace. Dust rises in tiny motes, dancing slowly in the air like ancient memories. Every sound is softened, footsteps, murmurs, even the distant hum of the stream outside the walls. The world feels infinite yet tenderly close, like a lullaby sung by time itself. A gentle breeze carries the scent of incense, flowers, and earth together. It brushes against skin, a caress that quiets thought. The banners sway, and you notice how each shadow seems to reach and retreat, creating a rhythm of peace. Even the temple stones, weathered by years of sun and rain, seem to pulse with the memory of devotion. Soft chants begin in the distance, a chorus of voices rising without urgency. They are not loud, not demanding. They are waves of sound flowing around the courtyards and halls, filling every corner with warmth. The words themselves are not important. It is the rhythm, the calm insistence of presence that lulls the mind toward ease. You float among them, held in the gentle arms of sound and light. Time feels slow, expanded. Each moment stretches like the river outside the walls, flowing quietly and steadily. The mind softens. Thoughts drift away like clouds, leaving only the gentle sensation of watching, of being. Even the distant mountains, the soft call of birds, the movement of the wind, everything blends into a harmonious quiet. The warriors kneel now, touching the cool stone with open palms. Their eyes are closed, hearts folded in the rhythm of prayer. There is no struggle here, no fear, only a quiet acknowledgement of something larger, of something enduring. You feel it too, a gentle settling, as if the world itself sighs softly around you. The sun rises fully, spilling light across temple floors and courtyards. Every corner is touched with warmth. Shadows shrink into the edges, leaving soft shapes that comfort the eye. The small stream outside glows, reflecting the golden sky. Birds circle higher, their wings catching the light like gentle sparks. And through it all, the temple remains a haven, a center of calm and devotion, untouched by the passing of time. Finally, as the morning breathes fully, the temple rests in a quiet reverence. The banners sway lightly, the incense curls into the air, the water murmurs in its steady flow. The stones hold memories, the walls cradle presence, and the light embraces everything. All is still, all is soft. The world here moves in slow, gentle rhythm, guiding the heart toward rest. Let us drift onward from this first light, carrying the calm of the temple in every breath. Let your mind float like the banners in the wind, gentle and free. Now rest, as the sun climbs, as the stones remember, and as the world waits softly in the tender arms of dawn. The temple courtyard awakens slowly, yet stillness lingers in every corner. Soft light spills across the stone floors, warming them gently. Each stone bears the quiet weight of countless feet, of those who walked here long ago. Their presence has softened into echoes, barely audible, yet ever present, like a faint melody floating on the wind. You drift over the courtyard, noticing the shadows stretching and folding into the warm morning light. A gentle breeze carries the scent of incense and earth. It curls around pillars, brushing the carved faces that gaze silently over the courtyard. These faces, etched into stone with tender care. Watch with patience. Eyes that have seen centuries of devotion seem to smile quietly, and you feel their calm reach through the air, brushing against your skin like a soft caress. The distant sound of footsteps is slow and rhythmic. Warriors of long ago moved this way, each step measured, carrying both caution and courage. Their hands rested on hilts, their eyes lifted toward the skis. Here in the courtyard, the past and present mingle. You float among the echoes, sensing the quiet dignity of preparation, of hearts focused before a challenge, yet untroubled by haste. A small fountain at the courtyard's center murmurs gently. Water spills over smooth stones, each droplet catching the soft sunlight, reflecting tiny, flickering sparks like stars fallen to earth. The sound soothes. It folds into the steps and whispers of the courtyard, creating a gentle rhythm that rises and falls like a calm heartbeat. Birds alight near the fountain, dipping their beaks into the water, then lifting gracefully into the air. Their wings brush the light, carrying whispers upward toward the heavens. Near the outer walls, banners hang quietly, swaying in a slow and steady dance. Their colors are muted by time, softened by sun and rain. Each banner tells a story, each thread a silent prayer. You notice the way the wind lifts them just enough to reveal their textures, the care in their weaving, the devotion stitched into every fiber. They seem alive, moving with a soft memory of the hands that hung them so long ago. The arches of the temple courtyard frame the rising sun. Light spills through, falling in gentle stripes across the floor. Dust rises in the shafts of sun, each mote glimmering like a tiny lantern. You drift among these drifting lights, letting their warmth settle into your chest. The courtyard feels suspended in time, a place where past and present breathe together in quiet harmony. Along the walls, carved figures lean into the shadows. Warriors, monks, and supplicants stand frozen yet filled with presence. Their hands are lifted in prayer, their eyes raised toward the sky. You sense their patience, their steady hearts. Even the stones seem to echo their soft energy, vibrating gently with the rhythm of devotion. Each carved figure becomes a companion for the mind, a reminder of courage tempered with peace. The temple gates are open now, and you hear the faint echo of steps from beyond. They are slow, careful, yet unhurried. Travelers and pilgrims once passed this way, carrying offerings, carrying hope. The courtyard welcomed them quietly, each step a soft answer to the prayers they carried. You float along the paths they traced, sensing the invisible currents of gratitude and reverence that linger like a delicate perfume in the air. Small lanterns hang along the edges of the courtyard, though the sun rises higher. Their light is soft, golden, complementing the sun's own glow. In the quiet shadows, they seem to hum with memory. Each lantern holds a small flame of devotion, flickering against the stone walls. You imagine their glow reflecting in the eyes of those who knelt here, a gentle mirror of hearts attuned to something larger than themselves. The fountain's waters ripple softly, disturbed only by the occasional bird. You notice the patterns, the circles spreading outward, overlapping and fatting. They mirror the quiet passage of life, the interweaving of effort, devotion, and rest. The courtyard itself becomes a meditation, a gentle rhythm that carries the mind slowly, like leaves drifting on the stream nearby. Soft chants rise from one corner, barely above a whisper. They echo across the courtyard, winding between pillars and arches, folding around stone faces and banners alike. Each note is careful, deliberate, like a hand tracing a familiar path. The sound is a gentle wave, washing over everything, smoothing the rough edges of thought, inviting the mind to rest. You drift in the sound, your breath matching the rise and fall of the voices. A stray breeze lifts petals from nearby blossoms, scattering them over the courtyard. They float like tiny boats, carried along by invisible currents. You watch as they settle on the stone, softening the ground beneath. Even in this quiet, even in this gentle motion, there is a sense of honor remembered, of hearts touched by devotion. Each petal, each movement, is a reminder that care and reverence leave traces, small and luminous, for all time. The sun climbs higher, yet the courtyard remains calm. Shadows short, light spreads evenly across the stones, and every corner glows warmly. You float past the fountains, the arches, the banners, tracing each curve and line with quiet attention. Every detail is softened by the gentle rhythm of life here. Even the distant mountains, framed through open gates, seem to bend toward this sanctuary of peace. You notice the quiet steps of a single warrior moving across the courtyard. There is no urgency, only presence. Hands fold over the hilt of a sword, eyes lifted toward the sun. Every movement is careful, measured, yet filled with trust. The courtyard embraces this quiet dignity, welcoming it into the gentle flow of morning. You feel it too, a soft settling in your chest, a release of all tension, like a leaf finally drifting to rest in water. From above, the carved faces seem to nod ever so slightly. Their expressions remain gentle, eyes calm. Even stone can teach peace if one listens with stillness. You float beneath them, sensing the slow accumulation of countless small acts of devotion, each one folding softly into the next. The courtyard itself is alive with this quiet history, a meditation in stone and shadow, light and breath. A distant drum beats softly now, steady and low. It is not loud, not commanding, only a heartbeat echoing across space. Each beat carries a rhythm of patience, a reminder that time itself can be gentle. The courtyard responds, softening further, breathing with the drum, with the wind, with the light. You feel your chest move in time, each breath a small echo of all that has passed here, of all that rests quietly in this place. The day stretches onward, yet the courtyard seems timeless. Every movement is deliberate, every sound softened. Even the smallest insects, hidden among the cracks of stone, contribute to the quiet life of this place. Nothing is hurried, nothing is pressed. Only presence remains, gentle and unbroken. You float, carried by this rhythm, letting your mind sink into the serene cadence of the courtyard. Finally, the echoes of steps, of chants, of water and wind mingle together into a single thread of calm. The courtyard becomes a living breath, steady and slow, holding space for reflection, for rest, for peace. Every carved face, every stone, every petal and ripple becomes part of a gentle embrace. Let us drift onward from this courtyard, carrying the soft rhythm of its morning with us. Let the echoes of devotion fill the spaces between each thought, quieting the mind. Now rest, as the temple listens, as the stones remember, and as the soft winds carry your spirit toward calm and gentle sleep. A gentle light falls across the hills as the morning stretches its arms toward the earth. You drift slowly over the temple walls, feeling the warmth of sunbeams brushing stone and grass. In the distance, a river moves quietly, bending through the land with a soft, unhurried rhythm. It is a river untouched by conflict, a gentle witness to all that has passed nearby. Its waters reflect the sky above, mirroring the light clouds and the soft colors of dawn. The river whispers as it moves, a sound like a lullaby. Stones beneath the water glimmer faintly, worn smooth by years of patient flow. Small fish glide along the current, weaving in and out like fleeting thoughts, delicate and unobtrusive. The gentle rush of water calms the mind, carrying away the residue of worry or tension. Here, even the air feels lighter, scented with the quiet fragrance of wet earth and blooming flowers. You float above the riverbank, noticing trees leaning slightly toward the water as if listening. Their leaves sway softly in the breeze, brushing against each other in a quiet, rhythmic murmur. Birds perch among the branches, their songs gentle and low, carrying messages of peace. Occasionally, a feather drifts down, spinning lazily before resting on a rock, a small symbol of grace and care. Along the banks, soft grasses ripple with the wind. You drift closer, sensing how each blade bends and rises in harmony with the river's flow. There is no haste here, no struggle, only motion that is deliberate and serene. Tiny insects hover above the water's surface, their reflections shimmering in the sunlit ripples. Even the smallest of lives seem woven into the river's gentle cadence, part of a soft and enduring rhythm. The river curves around a bend, revealing a wider stretch where water pools in glassy calm. You see the reflection of clouds drifting lazily above, mirrored perfectly in the still surface. It is a mirror of the sky and of all things suspended in quiet attention. Here, The world seems infinite and tender, offering a space where even the heaviest hearts may rest. You float over it, feeling a soft stillness settle within your chest. Distant mountains rise along the horizon, their peaks softened by morning haze. The river carries the light of dawn toward them, tracing a path through valleys and meadows. You imagine the water as a passage, not just of land but of memory. It has seen the comings and goings of countless souls, yet remains untouched by the quarrels of men. There is a gentle lesson in its constancy. Even amid change, peace may endure. Along the river's edge, you notice a small flock of cranes. They move with delicate precision, their long legs and wings brushing the surface lightly. They lift, then land again, tracing quiet arcs in the air. You follow their motion, letting it guide your thoughts toward stillness. Every rise and fall of wings mirrors the gentle breathing of the world, reminding you that even in motion, there can be grace. Pebbles line the river's bed, each shaped by time, each carrying a subtle memory of water flowing past. The current circles them, smoothing rough edges, softening the hard surfaces. You imagine this as a reflection of the heart. Constant, gentle attention transforms, without force, every burden into a calm, enduring presence. Here, nothing is lost, only reshaped by care and time. The river widens further, forming quiet pools where the sun reflects in golden patches. Dragonflies skim the surface, leaving tiny ripples that spread outward and vanish. Each movement is subtle, a gentle note in the ongoing song of the water. You drift alongside these small wonders, letting each ripple remind you that even the smallest touch can move the world in quiet ways. Nearby, a willow leans toward the river, its long branches brushing the surface. The leaves ripple and shimmer, catching the morning light in 1,000 delicate reflections. You float beneath them, listening to the soft brushing of leaves against water, feeling the rhythm settle in your chest. It is a quiet embrace, as if the river itself holds you, letting all tension fall away, leaving only gentle calm. The river bends again, revealing a small waterfall, its descent soft and melodic. Water spills over stone in silver threads, catching the sun and creating tiny rainbows in its mist. The sound is constant but gentle, a reminder that life continues, untroubled by the quarrels of men. You follow the mist with your gaze, letting it cool the mind and soothe the heart, each droplet a whisper of peace. Along the riverbank, flowers nod softly in the breeze. Their petals are small and delicate, colored in shades that soothe the eye. Bees move lazily from blossom to blossom, carrying pollen without urgency. Even these tiny creatures follow the river's rhythm, a quiet acknowledgement that all life is connected in its gentle flow. You float with them, inhaling the calm, letting each breath lengthen as your mind sinks further into stillness. A heron rises from the water, wings spread wide. Its flight is slow, deliberate, and graceful. It passes over reeds, over pebbles, over pools of sunlight, leaving only the memory of its shadow. You follow it with your attention, feeling the same slow glide settle your own thoughts. Here, everything moves in harmony, everything is guided by the same patient rhythm. The river curves once more, and you see the soft reflection of distant clouds mirrored in calm pools. The sky and water are one, and the mind begins to let go of boundaries of time, of worry. Everything merges into gentle movement, a lullaby of liquid light and soft air. Even the distant sounds of human activity seem hushed here, softened by the river's constant, steady song. Rocks rise above the surface, smooth and glimmering with moisture. Water flows around them in quiet devotion, never rushing, never forcing. Each rock becomes a resting place for the river, a pause in its long journey, just as the mind may pause in quiet meditation. You float past them, feeling the peace of the river entering your chest, filling every corner with calm. A soft fog rises along the far banks, curling around trees and reeds. It moves like a slow breath, gentle and unhurried. You follow its winding path, feeling your own breath lengthen in time. The river's song blends with the rustle of leaves, the hum of insects, the distant call of birds. Each sound layers softly, creating a gentle symphony that guides the mind toward rest. Small fish leap occasionally, tiny arcs of silver sparkling in the light before falling back into the calm water. The motion is quiet, delicate, a reminder of life's constant flow even in stillness. You watch their gentle movements, feeling a sense of wonder and ease that requires no thought, only observation, only presence. The river flows onward, bending and twisting, carrying the morning light across valleys and meadows. Trees lean toward it, flowers nod, birds glide, and the world itself seems to follow its rhythm. You drift along with it, letting the gentle current lift every worry, every thought, every tension. There is no haste here, only motion that is deliberate, soft, and eternal. At the river's edge, petals float in slow circles, carried by the current. Each one turns and drifts without resistance, guided by the quiet flow. You follow their gentle journey, feeling your own mind soften and release. Here, the river teaches patience, the beauty of slow movement, the peace that comes from constant, calm presence. The sun rises higher, yet the water remains gentle. Ripples catch the light and scatter it like soft diamonds. You drift over this shimmering path, letting the warmth and movement settle into your body, your chest, your mind. All is quiet, all is soft, all is safe. Finally, the river bends out of sight, carrying light, calm, and memory onward. You linger over its gentle song, feeling its lesson enter your heart. Even amid the echoes of conflict, life can flow untroubled, serene, and enduring. Let us drift onward with the river's calm, carrying its quiet strength and gentle rhythm with us. Now rest as the water flows, as the trees bend, as the soft winds carry you into peace and gentle sleep. The sun dips gently behind the temple walls, sending long shadows across the courtyard. You drift toward the cloisters, those quiet, sheltered halls where stone arches curve gracefully over the cool floors. The air here is soft and still, carrying a faint scent of incense and old wood. Every step you imagine makes no sound, yet fills the space with presence. The cloisters breathe slowly, as if the temple itself is exhaling after a long day. Within these sheltered halls, monks move with quiet care. Their robes brush the floor with gentle whispers, and their steps follow the rhythm of calm hearts. Each hand folded, each head bowed, carries a quiet determination. You float alongside them, feeling the gentle pulse of their devotion, a heartbeat that echoes courage in its soft insistence. Even in stillness, the energy here is steady, a force that flows without hurry or demand. Candles flicker along the walls, their flames bending in the soft draft that winds through the arches. Each flame casts shadows that stretch and fold, creating patterns of light and dark that move like gentle waves. The shadows themselves seem alive, tracing paths that cradle the mind and draw it away from worry. You drift past them, letting the warmth of their glow settle into your chest, softening thought and letting your mind rest. A faint chant rises, almost imperceptible at first. It grows, a steady thread of sound that winds through the cloisters. The voices are low and harmonious, each note careful, deliberate, carrying intention without force. It is the courage of quiet prayer, the bravery of calm hearts. You feel it ripple through the stone, through the arches, through every corner of the temple. Even the air seems to hum with it, wrapping you in a gentle embrace. The monks pause at small altars, hands resting lightly on carved stone. Offerings of flowers, incense, and water lie in careful arrangement. Each gesture is an act of protection, a prayer not for themselves, but for those who will walk the world beyond these walls. You watch, drifting closer, and sense the soft weight of these intentions. They settle like gentle dust on your shoulders, reminding you that courage is often quiet, invisible, and steady. The arches of the cloisters frame soft glimpses of the outside world. Through open spaces, you see the courtyard where warriors once stood. You imagine them stepping lightly, their hearts steady, guided by the silent strength flowing from these halls. The light from the cloisters touches the stone outside, creating a pathway of warmth and serenity. Every shadow, every sunbeam, seems to carry the whispered encouragement of generations long gone. Small birds flit through the arches, their wings brushing softly against the cool stone. Their calls are low, delicate, carrying no urgency. You follow their flight, feeling a sense of freedom in the quiet spaces between movement and stillness. Even the simplest life here moves in harmony with the rhythm of devotion, each tiny motion a gentle echo of courage that needs no applause. Along the walls, carvings of saints and guardians watch silently. Their faces are calm, eyes lowered or lifted in timeless meditation. Each one tells a story of steadfastness, of courage not shown in battle but in patience and gentle endurance. You drift along the carved figures, letting their quiet confidence settle into your mind. They seem to whisper without sound. Strength is calm, strength is stillness, strength is presence. A soft draft moves through the cloisters, carrying the faint rustle of robes, the curl of incense smoke, the distant echo of water from a hidden fountain. Every sound blends seamlessly, forming a melody that is neither loud nor insistent, but steady and soothing. You float with it, breathing in time with the rhythm, each inhale carrying calm, each exhale releasing tension. At a small stone bench, a monk pauses to sit. Hands rest lightly in his lap, eyes closed. Even in this quiet repose, there is courage here. The courage of being fully present, fully aware, fully devoted to the moment. You notice how the light catches the edges of the bench, illuminating the soft folds of his robes, the gentle incline of his head. Every detail feels like a small prayer, a tender lesson in stillness. Candles burn softly nearby, their light reflected in shallow bowls of water. The surfaces ripple with each passing breath, catching the glow in dancing fragments. You drift closer, letting your attention follow the delicate shimmer. Each flicker becomes a note in the quiet song of the cloisters, a reminder that even in stillness, there is life and movement, soft but constant. The arches curve overhead, forming gentle tunnels of stone and light. Shadows bend and fold along the walls, moving with the slow passage of the sun. You float beneath them, feeling the security of the structure around you, the protection of stone held steady for centuries. The cloisters themselves are guardians, silent yet strong, offering safety to all who enter. Soft chants rise again, weaving between pillars and arches. The sound is warm and resonant, a thread of courage that winds through every corner of the temple. It is a reminder that bravery is not always loud, that the quietest hearts often carry the strongest light. You let the rhythm of the chants fill your chest, each note settling gently, easing the mind toward calm. A single bird lands on a carved ledge, its feathers catching the candlelight. It remains still, head tilted, as if observing the quiet devotion surrounding it. You watch, noticing the harmony in its calm presence. Even this small creature participates in the rhythm of the cloisters, a living symbol of courage woven into the fabric of quiet life. Along the far wall, a gentle fountain bubbles. Water flows smoothly over stone, catching the flickering candlelight and reflecting it in tiny, glimmering streams. The sound is soft, steady, like a heartbeat in the hall. You float over it, letting the gentle rush wash over your thoughts, carrying away any remaining tension. Each ripple reminds you that calmness and courage often travel together, quietly shaping the world. The monks move again, softly with deliberate care. Their feet trace paths worn smooth by centuries. Their hands fold, release, and fold again. Every motion is mindful, deliberate, yet effortless. You drift alongside them, letting the rhythm guide your own breath. In this slow, gentle flow, even the heaviest thoughts feel lighter, as if touched by the calm strength of the temple itself. The arches frame glimpses of the courtyard beyond, where soft winds carry the scent of earth and flowers. Sunlight filters through, casting patterns on the stone floors of the cloisters. You drift beneath these shifting lights, letting the warmth settle into your chest. Every flicker, every shadow, feels like a gentle hand guiding you toward serenity. A soft bell rings somewhere in the distance, low and warm. It does not startle, does not demand attention. It simply resonates, a reminder of the passage of time, of presence, of mindfulness. You hear it and your mind quiets further, matching its slow, steady tone. Courage, you realize, is as much about presence as it is about action. The day moves slowly across the cloisters. Shadows lengthen, light bends, and the soft movements of monks, birds, and water continue their steady rhythm. The air itself feels calm, carrying gentle warmth, a quiet reassurance that all is safe here. You float along, absorbed by the gentle choreography of life and devotion, feeling the subtle strength it imparts to your own spirit. Finally, the light softens, the candles glow warmer, and the cloisters rest in quiet harmony. The arches hold shadows like gentle arms, the fountains murmur their steady song, the incense curls softly into the air. Courage here is not a call to arms, but a still, enduring presence. You feel it settle in your chest, a quiet flame that does not flicker or falter. Let us drift onward from the cloisters of courage, carrying the soft strength of this place in every breath. Let your mind float like the gentle smoke from the candles, slow and untroubled. Now rest as the arches watch, as the candles burn softly, and as the temple cradles you in calm and quiet sleep. The sun sinks slowly behind distant hills, casting long, golden fingers across the temple walls. You float above the battlements, feeling the warmth of the fading light touch the stones with a gentle hand. Shadows stretch, folding softly into corners where time seems to pause. The courtyard below quiets, still from the day's activity, and the air carries a calm weight, a gentle hush that settles over all. Along the walls, banners sway lightly in the soft evening breeze. Their colors are muted by the sun's last rays, folding into amber and bronze. Each thread seems to hum with memory, recalling footsteps that once moved with care, hands that once lifted swords, hearts that once held steady. You drift closer, feeling the quiet pulse of courage that lingers here, a tender echo that the world itself seems to breathe in. The battlements curve like gentle waves, forming quiet spaces where the mind may rest. Stone towers rise and fall in soft rhythm, each carved face and arch bathed in the glow of twilight. The wind carries faint whispers, perhaps the laughter or prayer of those long gone, weaving through the air like a slow, soothing melody. You float along the tops of walls, letting each echo drift past, brushing your thoughts like a soft feather. Below, the river glimmers, catching the dying light. Its surface is calm, reflecting clouds and sky in delicate patterns. You watch as the water winds along the land, bending and turning without hurry. The gentle flow mirrors the slow movement of the mind, a quiet reminder that even after conflict, life can glide with serenity. The river carries reflection as easily as it carries water, holding the sky in its embrace. Tiny birds move along the crenellations, hopping lightly, pausing to watch the sun slip away. Their wings flutter softly, a rhythm gentle and unhurried. You follow their motion with your eyes, noticing the harmony between stone and feather, shadow and light. Even the smallest presence seems to participate in the quiet, a part of the evening's lullaby. Along the walls, moss and small plants cling softly to cracks in the stone. Their green seems brighter against the amber of the battlements. You notice how life persists, how even in places shaped for defense, gentle growth finds its place. The soft leaves bend with the wind, brushing lightly against stone, reminding the mind that peace and courage often share the same space. The sky deepens into muted golds and purples, a slow transition that seems to breathe. Clouds drift lazily, curling and spreading as if painted by invisible hands. Their forms move without urgency, shaping the horizon in soft patterns. You drift among them in thought, letting each slow swirl carry tension away, leaving only warmth and stillness. A distant bell rings from the temple below. Its tone is low, warm, and steady, reverberating along the walls. Each chime seems to settle a little further into your chest, softening the rhythm of your thoughts. It blends with the murmuring of the river, the rustle of banners, and the soft brushing of feathers, creating a symphony of gentle sound that lulls the mind toward calm. On the highest tower, a lone figure stands, cloaked in quiet dignity. Hands rest lightly on the parapet, eyes lifted toward the horizon. Even in stillness, there is bravery here, a silent courage that does not shout but simply exists. You float nearer, sensing the strength in patience, the bravery in calm observation. It is a courage carried without strain, steady as stone beneath the sky. The wind carries the scent of evening flowers from gardens beyond the walls. Jasmine and soft lilies mingle, filling the air with gentle sweetness. You drift through the scent, letting it settle around your shoulders and chest. Each breath becomes slower, deeper, carrying the calm strength of the battlements into every corner of the mind. Shadows lengthen further, stretching across the stone floors and arches. The fatting sun casts long lines, folding and overlapping, creating soft pockets of quiet. You drift among them, noticing how darkness and light move together, a delicate balance that soothes and guides. The battlements themselves seem to exhale, a slow release of the day's tension into the tender embrace of twilight. From below, faint footsteps echo across the courtyard, soft and careful. Monks, guards, or travelers. They move with gentle care, each step a quiet rhythm in the evening air. Their presence is subtle, but it adds to the cadence of calm, a reminder that even in the echoes of life, there is harmony. You float alongside the sound, letting it anchor your thoughts in the gentle motion of the world. The clouds begin to darken, soft purples and blues weaving across the sky. Stars peek through slowly, one by one, like timid lanterns in the heavens. You watch them emerge, letting their quiet sparkle settle in your mind. Each star seems to whisper of courage carried through time, of hearts that held steady when the world demanded calm. Their light is gentle, unhurried, and it bathes the battlements in a silver hush. Small animals move along the walls, their steps almost invisible in the fatting light. A fox pauses, ears lifted, then moves on silently. Crickets begin their soft chorus, filling the spaces between stones and banners. The sounds are delicate, a gentle music that invites the mind to drift, a lullaby spun from the life that continues quietly beyond the human struggles of day. The river below mirrors the stars as night deepens. Tiny ripples catch the moonlight, scattering silver across the surface. You drift closer, letting the reflection wash over your thoughts. The water seems to hold every quiet hope, every unspoken prayer, and it moves with patience that no battle can disturb. Here, even the faintest light is enough to carry the world gently forward. A soft breeze lifts petals from nearby gardens, sending them drifting across the courtyard and against the walls. Each petal moves slowly, guided by invisible currents, folding and turning as it settles into a soft pattern on stone. You follow their flight, letting the delicate motion quiet your mind further. Every small movement seems meaningful, yet effortless, part of a larger harmony that exists without hurry. The battlements themselves feel alive now, breathing with the rhythm of wind, river, and soft footsteps. Stone and banner, feather and leaf, candle and shadow, all merge into a single, gentle cadence. You float along the edge, tracing the curves and rises of walls worn smooth by centuries, feeling their quiet patience. Courage and calm live here together, a presence that does not shout but simply holds space. A final bell tolls from the temple, lower now, stretched and resonant. Its sound blends with the soft murmur of water, the distant calls of night birds, and the rustle of banners. You hear it settle in your chest, matching the gentle rise and fall of your breath. It is a reminder that even after tension, after struggle, there is rest, there is calm, there is quiet presence. The last traces of sunlight fade, leaving the battlements bathed in twilight and soft silver moonlight. Shadows and stars mingle, forming patterns that cradle the mind in gentle calm. You drift along the walls one last time, letting the rhythm of the evening, the soft courage of the stone and air, and the quiet song of water and wind guide your thoughts into stillness. Let us drift onward from the battlements of twilight, carrying the calm strength of stone, sky, and river with us. Let your mind float like petals on the evening breeze, slow and untroubled. Now rest as the stars shine softly, as the river glimmers below, and as the temple watches over you in gentle, peaceful sleep. Night settles gently over the temple grounds, folding the day into quiet shadow. You float along the paths where soft lanterns swing lightly in the breeze, casting pools of golden light across worn stone. Each lantern seems to hold a memory, a story carried from one heart to another, glowing steadily in the gentle dark. The air is still, scented faintly with incense and damp earth, inviting your thoughts to drift slowly, like leaves on a calm river. Along the pathways, the lanterns sway, brushing soft reflections against the temple walls. Their glow touches carved faces, silent guardians whose expressions have watched centuries pass. You notice how the light traces the curves of stone, revealing small details previously hidden by day. Every flicker seems to whisper quietly, as if reminding you of moments lived, of courage given, of devotion quietly sustained. Beneath each lantern, the path is smooth, worn by footsteps that came long before. Soldiers, monks, and travelers moved here once, their hearts steady, their minds devoted. You imagine their presence, the gentle rhythm of their steps, the quiet resolve that guided them through every challenge. The stones beneath your drifting gaze seem to carry these echoes, a tender reminder that every act of courage leaves its soft trace. A soft wind moves through the courtyard, stirring the lanterns just enough to make their light dance. Shadows curl and stretch along the walls, forming delicate patterns that rise and fall like breathing. You float among them, letting your mind follow the gentle rhythm, the slow inhale and exhale of quiet presence. Each movement is a lullaby, each flicker a gentle guide into calmness. In the distance, faint stars begin to appear, their silver glimmer mirrored in the soft glass of the lanterns. You notice how the small lights below echo the larger lights above, creating a harmony between earth and sky. The world feels held together by this quiet reflection, a gentle balance that encourages the mind to rest and the heart to soften. Along the path, small petals drift across the stones, carried by the same soft wind that moves the lanterns. Their fall is unhurried, spinning and twisting before settling lightly on the ground. You follow their motion, feeling a sense of weightlessness, a calm that floats through the chest and settles over the shoulders. Each petal seems to tell a story without words, a whisper of lives remembered, of moments honored quietly in the night. Near the edge of the courtyard, a small pool reflects the lanterns and stars alike. Its surface shimmers softly, rippling gently with each passing breeze. You float above the water, noticing how every reflection bends and curves, blending memory with light. The pool becomes a mirror of thought, where courage and devotion are preserved, yet softened by the tender calm of evening. A distant sound of soft bells drifts through the night. Their resonance is low, warm, and steady, blending with the lantern's glow to form a subtle song. It is the music of memory, a gentle cadence that rises and falls without urgency, guiding your mind toward stillness. You follow each chime, letting it settle in your chest, reminding you that even in the darkness, light persists and stories endure. Along the paths, small animals move quietly, aware of the soft presence that fills the courtyard. A cat stretches and settles near a lantern, its fur illuminated in warm gold. Crickets begin their gentle chorus, a soft rhythm accompanying the whispers of the lanterns. You drift through these subtle movements, noticing how even the smallest life participates in the quiet harmony of night, each one carrying its own silent courage. The lanterns sway again, their light caressing carved symbols on the walls. Each mark, each curve seems alive in the glow, telling stories of devotion and loss, of moments when hearts were brave and steady. You float closer, letting the warm light touch your own thoughts, softening them, reminding you that remembrance is gentle, that courage need not shout to exist. A solitary figure moves along the path, hands resting lightly on the lantern pole, eyes lifted toward the light. Their presence is calm, deliberate, a quiet rhythm of devotion. You drift near, sensing the steady pulse of their heart, the serenity in their steps. Even without words, their courage resonates through the air, mingling with the lantern's glow, a quiet testament to lives lived with quiet strength. The wind carries the faint scent of night flowers, petals brushing softly against robes and stone. Jasmine, lavender, and faint roses mingle, creating a gentle perfume that invites the mind to exhale fully, to settle deeply. You follow the fragrance as it curls along the path, letting each inhalation carry away tension, each exhalation release lingering thought. Above, the sky deepens into midnight blue. Stars glimmer faintly, mirrored below in every lantern. The duality of earth and sky, of memory and present, creates a gentle balance, a calm symmetry that encourages the heart to rest. You float along, noticing how each lantern seems to respond to the stars, flickering softly, as if in conversation, a gentle rhythm to guide the night. Small ripples move across the pool's surface, catching the lantern's glow and scattering it like silver dust. You watch as each ripple fades into calm, noticing how even movement can be soft, gentle, unobtrusive. Courage, it seems, lives in these moments. The steady persistence of light, the quiet reflection of past deeds, the gentle touch of wind and water. Along the edges of the courtyard, ivy curls softly around stone walls. Its tendrils reach toward the lanterns, swaying in the breeze, catching the glow in small glimmers. You drift among them, letting the intertwining of light and leaf soothe your thoughts, reminding you that even in darkness, life and courage continue to grow quietly, persistently, with gentle grace. The lantern's light bends along the path, illuminating corners where time seems paused. Shadows stretch lazily, curling over steps, walls, and carved stone faces. You follow the soft dance of light and shadow, letting it move through the chest, the shoulders, the mind. Every flicker becomes a gentle breath, every glow a tender heartbeat, lulling the spirit toward calm. A soft murmur of distant water reaches your ears. Perhaps a stream, perhaps the faint echo of the river beyond the battlements. Its presence blends with the lantern's glow, with the whispering wind creating a subtle melody of night. You float with the sound, letting its rhythm guide your thoughts into stillness, each note a quiet reminder that life continues gently, even after struggle, even after day. The path narrows, winding softly between stone arches. Lanterns hang from every curve, casting pools of golden warmth on worn steps. You drift along, noticing how the arches frame the light, how the soft glow fills spaces otherwise dark. Each arch becomes a gentle cradle for reflection, a place where memory and presence meet, where courage rests in stillness. Above, the stars become brighter, their light steady and soft. The lanterns respond, their glow deepening, creating a gentle dialogue of sky and earth. You watch, letting the harmony settle in the chest, the mind, the heart. Here, courage is quiet, memory is gentle, and the night itself holds every whisper of devotion and bravery. A final lantern glows softly at the path's end. Its light is warm, steady, inviting. You float toward it, feeling its calm presence spread through the body, softening every thought, easing every tension. Even the shadows around it seem gentle, protective, a quiet embrace for the mind and heart. Let us drift onward from the lanterns of memory, carrying their soft glow in every breath. Let your thoughts float like gentle light across the night, unhurried and serene. Now rest as the lanterns sway, as the stars watch above, and as the temple cradles you in calm, peaceful sleep. Night has settled fully across the temple grounds, and within the quiet walls, shadows bend softly beneath tall stone arches. You drift gently along the corridors, feeling the cool stone beneath your fingertips, the gentle pulse of the building as if it breathes with every whisper of wind. Light from lanterns stretches across carved surfaces, spilling softly into corners, illuminating the arches like gentle, golden halos. The air is calm, scented faintly with incense, carrying notes of sandalwood and myrrh, inviting the mind to soften and slow. The arches themselves seem alive with memory. Each curve holds echoes of countless prayers, spoken quietly by voices long gone. You float beneath them, listening to the soft resonance in the air, the subtle hum of devotion that still lingers. Some prayers speak of hope, some of courage, others of gratitude. They drift gently, rising with the warmth of the lanterns and the curling tendrils of incense, weaving a tapestry of stillness and calm. Soft light touches the carvings along the walls, figures of guardians, serene faces of teachers, and patterns that spiral gently toward the heavens. You follow each curve with your eyes, noticing how the light bends around them, revealing textures unseen during the day. The shadows deepen, folding into the spaces between, creating quiet pockets where thought can rest. Each arch frames the light in a gentle embrace, a sanctuary for both the eyes and the heart. A faint breeze moves through the corridors, carrying whispers from open doors and windows. The incense curls and sways with it, forming ribbons of soft gray and gold that rise slowly toward the vaulted ceilings. You drift alongside them, inhaling the calm scent, letting it fill the chest and shoulders with a gentle warmth. Each breath becomes slower, each heartbeat quiet, in harmony with the soft rhythm of the temple. Within these arches, candles burn with a steady, gentle glow. Their flames sway lightly, reflecting in pools of polished stone and casting gentle shadows along the walls. You notice how each flicker seems alive, responding to the movement of the air and the unseen presence of memory in the space. The soft light feels like a guide, moving with quiet patience, illuminating the way through thoughts and reflections. Monks move slowly along the corridors, their steps soft against the stone floors. They carry incense, or perhaps a small lantern, moving with deliberate care. You sense their presence without intrusion, floating alongside them as if you too are part of the quiet devotion that fills the temple. Their steady rhythm of breath and motion forms a gentle cadence, a slow lullaby for the mind. The arches themselves rise higher as you move deeper into the temple, curving gracefully toward the ceiling where soft shadows mingle with the faint glow of moonlight. The stones seem to hum with the weight of centuries, a resonance that reaches the heart and quiets thought. You drift beneath these sacred curves, feeling the patient strength they hold, the soft courage carried in their very form. Small offerings lie along the walls, petals, stones, or tiny vessels of water and incense. Each one is a quiet testament to care and devotion, placed gently with intention. You notice the subtle energy in each object, the way light touches it and shadows wrap around it, and you feel a deep calm wash through your chest. Every small gesture, every whispered prayer becomes part of the slow rhythm of the night. In one alcove, a single statue glows in the soft lantern light. Its features are serene, eyes closed in gentle meditation, hands resting lightly upon its knees. You float nearer, sensing the peace it radiates. Though still, it speaks of patience, courage, and gentle protection. You imagine the hands that carved it, the prayers whispered while it was formed, and the quiet devotion that continues to ripple outward in this calm space. The incense rises higher, spiraling toward the vaulted ceiling, its movement slow and deliberate. You follow it with your mind, letting each curl carry tension away, letting each gentle ribbon of smoke guide your thoughts into stillness. The arches seem to lean into the incense, welcoming it, shaping it into patterns that soothe the spirit. Every breath of air becomes a lullaby, every flicker of candlelight a soft hand brushing across the mind. Faint echoes drift from distant chambers, chants perhaps, or the soft murmur of prayer. They rise slowly, intertwining with the scent of incense and the gentle sway of lanterns. You drift along with them, letting each echo settle in the chest, a gentle vibration that quiets thought and steadies the heart. The temple itself feels alive, not in haste or urgency, but in patient presence, holding space for every whisper and every soft intention. The arches curve into narrower corridors, leading to hidden courtyards where moonlight spills across small pools of water. Their surfaces reflect the lanterns and stars alike, creating a harmony of light that floats between earth and sky. You drift above the pools, watching how each ripple scatters reflections into delicate patterns. The water moves without hurry, carrying quiet memory and gentle calm with each shift. Small creatures stir along the edges of the corridors, birds settling in hidden nooks, insects whispering softly in the night. Their movements are delicate, unnoticed by most, yet they contribute to the rhythm of the temple, a subtle music that flows between stone and shadow. You follow their gentle steps, letting them guide your mind into the soft folds of night. Candles flicker again, responding to the soft air currents, and shadows stretch along the arches in slow, gentle waves. You drift with these movements, letting them trace the contours of your thoughts, softening any tension. Light and shadow mingle in quiet conversation, wrapping the temple in a calm embrace that seems to hold both past and present in serene balance. A distant bell rings low, its resonance slow and deliberate, blending with the incense, the lanterns, and the soft breath of night. You let the sound settle in your chest, vibrating softly through the mind. Each toll carries the weight of centuries, yet it is gentle, patient, a reminder that even time itself bows to stillness. You drift with the bell, letting it guide your spirit toward quiet reflection and gentle rest. The arches rise higher, curving into the darkness above where moonlight pools softly. You float beneath them, noticing how the shapes guide the eye upward, drawing thought gently toward the heavens. Light, shadow, incense, and stone combine into a soft symphony, a meditation for the senses. You feel the calm strength of the temple settle into your own heart, steadying breath and quieting thought. Near the exit, a final lantern glows warmly, inviting the eye and mind to linger. Its light spreads across the stone, pooling softly in corners, touching carvings and petals alike. You drift toward it slowly, letting its glow carry every gentle memory, every whispered prayer, every soft courage into the quiet of your own chest. The temple has held all these things patiently, and now, in its calm embrace, they settle gently within you. Let us drift onward beneath the arches of prayer, carrying their calm, their light, and their patient strength with us. Let your thoughts float like incense curling slowly toward the heavens, gentle and unhurried. Now rest as the arches watch over you, as the lanterns sway, and as the sacred light cradles your heart in deep, peaceful sleep. Night has deepened across the temple grounds, and a gentle hush falls over the stone courtyards. You float softly along the paths, where statues of gods and goddesses stand in quiet dignity. Their eyes, carved with tender care, gaze upon the world with calm understanding. Even the stones beneath your feet seem softened by their presence, as though centuries of devotion have imbued them with patient serenity. The air carries a subtle warmth, scented with incense and evening dew, inviting every thought to settle and every breath to deepen. The silent watchers are still, yet they speak in their quiet way. You drift closer, noticing how the moonlight bends around their faces, touching every contour and curve with soft radiance. There is no urgency in their gaze, only patience, a gentle witnessing of all that has come before. You imagine the countless moments of human courage, fear, and devotion that have passed beneath their watchful eyes. Each story lingers like a faint echo, mingling with the night air, soothing the spirit and calming the mind. Soft winds ripple through the courtyard, lifting the edges of robes carved into stone, brushing the lanterns, flickering light across the ground. You float among them, letting the gentle sway guide your thoughts into slow, measured rhythm. Each movement of air seems deliberate, carrying whispers of prayers that once rose from these very stones. You sense the devotion that has flowed into this place, every quiet offering, every steady breath, every whispered hope for courage and peace. The statues' faces reflect the quiet light of the lanterns. Some gaze downward with gentle compassion, others lift their eyes toward the heavens, as if connecting the earthly and divine in a single serene moment. You drift beneath them, noticing how the calm in their expression seems to stretch beyond the stone itself, reaching into your own chest. Every heartbeat softens, every exhale eases tension, as if the patience carved in stone flows gently into your spirit. Along the edges of the courtyard, small pools of water mirror the statues and the night sky. Each ripple catches fragments of moonlight, scattering them across the stone like liquid silver. You float above the pools, watching the light dance softly with the water's gentle movement. In this quiet reflection, the stories of past battles, courage, loss, and hope appear as gentle echoes. They do not stir fear or worry, only a quiet understanding that every struggle eventually finds balance in the calm that follows. Faint footsteps seem to echo in the distance, though the night remains hushed. Perhaps it is only the memory of the temple itself, recalling the steps of monks, guardians, and travelers who once moved beneath these arches. You drift alongside the echoes, feeling how the soft rhythm of movement becomes a lullaby. Each sound, each pause, invites you to sink deeper into serenity, to let the mind release the clamor of day, and to rest in gentle presence. The silent watcher's hands rest lightly at their sides or upon carved symbols of devotion. You notice how even the smallest details, the tilt of a finger, the curve of a robe, express patience and care. These subtle gestures carry the weight of quiet vigilance, a constant reminder that the divine watches without judgment, offering steadiness and solace instead of agitation. You drift with this awareness, feeling how it wraps around your thoughts like a warm, protective cloak. Lanterns glow softly along the courtyard's edge, their light pooling at the statue's bases. Shadows stretch lazily across the ground, forming gentle patterns that rise and fall in rhythm with the faint evening breeze. You follow the movement of light and shadow, letting each flicker trace a path through the mind. Every subtle change becomes a gentle breath, every glowing reflection a tender heartbeat, guiding you closer to calm and quietude. Above, the night sky deepens, and stars appear in quiet brilliance. You notice how the lanterns below mirror the celestial glow, forming a delicate dialogue of light between earth and sky. The statues seem to participate in this gentle conversation, their gaze reaching simultaneously downward toward the world and upward toward the heavens. You float beneath this harmony, feeling it settle into your own chest, a slow, serene rhythm that echoes with timeless patience. In the corners of the courtyard, small animals move quietly. A bird flutters softly near a lantern, a cat stretches along the stone steps, and insects hum low, unobtrusive songs. Their gentle movements blend seamlessly with the statues, calm presence, and the slow sway of lantern light. You drift with them, letting the world's soft rhythms cradle the mind, feeling how even life's smallest gestures contribute to the serene balance of night. The silent watcher's gaze seems to follow you as you move along the courtyard. Yet there is no weight, no pressure, only the gentle steadiness of presence. You sense that their patience transforms the stories of battle into soft reflections, reminding all who pass beneath their eyes that every act, every moment, every struggle finds its place in a larger, peaceful whole. You float alongside this wisdom, allowing it to settle in the heart and mind. The pools of water ripple again, stirred by a faint evening breeze. Their surfaces catch fragments of lantern light, scattering gold and silver across the stone. You drift above them, watching the gentle motion, noticing how each ripple softens the reflections, blending past and present, memory and calm. The temple itself feels alive, not in noise or haste, but in patient, quiet vigilance. You float with this energy, feeling it anchor your thoughts and slow your breathing. A soft, distant bell begins to toll, low and warm. Its resonance moves through the air, mingling with the lantern's glow, the wind, and the quiet presence of the statues. Each toll is deliberate, unhurried, carrying the weight of centuries, yet softened by gentleness. You let the sound settle in the chest, letting it vibrate through the mind in waves of calm. Even the echoes of conflict seem softened here, transformed by the serene watch of the divine. The statues rise taller as you move along the path, their forms framed by arches and pools of lantern light. You float beneath them, noticing how the curves of stone guide the eye upward, encouraging reflection and stillness. Light and shadow mingle in soft patterns across faces, robes, and symbols, forming a silent, gentle story that carries you deeper into serenity. You drift along this story, letting it soothe the heart and steady the mind. Above, the sky becomes a deep velvet, stars sparkling faintly. Lanterns reflect them on the stone paths, mirroring celestial beauty in human hands. You drift with this duality, noticing how the statue's calm gaze holds it all together: heaven, earth, past, and present. Their quiet patience transforms turmoil into reflection, struggle into gentle understanding. You float through this harmony, letting it settle fully in your mind and heart. At the courtyard's edge, a final statue gazes softly toward the night, bathed in lantern light. Its expression is calm, gentle, timeless. You drift near, letting its presence fill your chest with quiet warmth. Every detail, the tilt of the head, the curve of a hand, the serene eyes, speaks of patience, strength, and the quiet transformation of conflict into reflection. You feel your own breath slow, your mind soften, and your heart settle in the temple's gentle embrace. Let us drift onward beneath the silent watchers, carrying their calm, their quiet patience, and their steady gaze with every gentle breath. Let your thoughts float like lanterns swaying softly in the night, tender and unhurried. Now rest as the statues keep watch, as the stars gaze softly above, and as the temple holds you in deep, peaceful sleep. Night has settled over the wide fields where banners once waved, their colors bright in the day, now resting quietly upon the earth. You float gently above the soft grass, where shadows stretch like whispers and a faint wind stirs the fallen flags. The air carries the cool scent of evening, mingled with the faint warmth of lingering sunlight, now gone beyond the horizon. Above, the first stars appear, delicate and silver, soft in their eternal light, watching quietly over the land. The banners lie folded, some caught upon low branches, some resting upon the gentle rise of the hills. Each one holds a story of courage, of hope, of struggle and devotion. You drift slowly among them, noticing the way the wind lifts them softly, like a memory brushing the skin, and how even in stillness they seem to carry a quiet energy. The stars above mirror this calm, their gentle glimmer guiding the mind toward reflection and ease. Soft whispers of the past drift across the fields, not as voices but as gentle echoes, reminders of what has been. The banners and flags, though still, remember every step, every pause, every heart that held them high. You float along these memories, letting them rise and fall like a slow, gentle tide. Each echo becomes a soft breath, each shadow a gentle hand, smoothing the mind and quieting thought. The stars above shine steadily, each one a tiny witness to the unfolding of time. They move imperceptibly, yet their presence is certain, constant, like a patient guardian. You lift your gaze to them, feeling how their light wraps across the fields, touching the fallen banners, the soft grass, and the gentle hills. The contrast of earth and sky becomes a slow, harmonious rhythm, a reminder that all moments, even those of struggle, find their place beneath the calm gaze of eternity. Distant hills rise softly in the night, their edges folded into shadow. Between them, the fields stretch wide, filled with the gentle weight of memory. Lanterns from far-off temples glow faintly, their light mingling with that of the stars, and you float with the interplay of these soft illuminations. Each light carries a story, each glow a heartbeat of patience and remembrance, guiding your own mind into stillness. The banners, once vibrant and full of motion, now ripple only lightly in the evening breeze. You drift among them, feeling the soft movement, gentle as a sigh. Each fold of fabric seems to speak of endurance. Each color, once bold, now softened by time, tells of persistence and quiet courage. The fields themselves seem to breathe beneath your touch, carrying the weight of the past without urgency or worry, holding memory like a gentle cradle. Above, the stars shift slightly, their light refracted softly through the thin clouds that wander across the night sky. You float with them, feeling how their slow movement carries peace into the mind. There is no hurry here, no battle to be won, only the patient watching of time, the quiet unfolding of light across the world, and the soft, eternal presence that holds all things in gentle balance. In the distance, a small stream moves quietly through the fields, catching the starlight in gentle ripples. You drift closer, letting the soft murmur of water mingle with the whisper of wind through grass and flags. The stream carries reflections of stars and banners alike, merging past and present in the gentle folds of water. You follow its slow path, feeling how it softens the edges of memory, turning struggle into reflection and tension into calm. A solitary bird glides above the fields, its wings wide and steady. It moves without hurry, following the contours of hills and gentle wind. You drift alongside it, noticing how each silent sweep of its flight mirrors the slow rhythm of the stars, the lanterns, the banners, and the earth below. Its presence is soft, patient, and unhurried, reminding the heart that even in the aftermath of turmoil, life carries on in gentle patterns of beauty and balance. The stars shine more clearly now, a quiet chorus above the fallen flags. You float beneath them, letting their light fill the mind like a gentle tide. Every heartbeat slows, every breath deepens, every thought folds softly into the calm that stretches across the land. The night is vast, yet intimate, holding both memory and presence in a single, gentle embrace. Lanterns in distant temples flicker softly, small points of warmth among the fields. Their glow mingles with the silver of the stars, creating a soft conversation of light. You drift through it, letting each shimmer and reflection settle into your chest, calming worry, softening thought, and filling the mind with patient, tender observation. The banners, the stars, the lanterns, they are all witnesses to what has passed, and yet none demand anything, only offer gentle reflection. The wind rises slightly, lifting the fallen banners again, carrying the faint scent of earth, stone, and the cool night air. You drift with it, noticing how each gentle ripple in the fabric becomes a quiet story, a soft memory carried slowly through the night. Time stretches gently, the weight of the past held lightly, and the mind rests in the quiet assurance of continuity and calm. Along the edges of the fields, small stones catch the starlight, smooth and round from years of quiet presence. You drift among them, letting the slow sparkle guide your gaze, tracing the soft patterns of light across the land. Each stone feels like a heartbeat, steady and patient, holding memory without agitation. You notice how even the smallest detail carries its own serene story, blending seamlessly with the larger rhythm of stars, banners, and earth. Above, the Milky Way spreads softly across the sky, a river of light that seems to carry every fallen banner, every quiet prayer, every story of courage into the calm of eternity. You float with it, letting the gentle flow wash over your thoughts, each star a whisper, each streak of light a tender reminder that all is held in quiet, enduring patience. The fields breathe gently beneath you, the grass swaying in slow rhythm with the night wind. Lanterns glow faintly, banners ripple softly, and stars gleam with gentle constancy. You drift among these quiet forces, letting each one touch the mind with serenity. There is no need to hold, to grasp, to understand, only to float, to rest, to feel the harmony that stretches between earth and sky. As the night deepens, the stars grow brighter, more certain, and the banners lie softly upon the fields, folded in gentle repose. You drift slowly above them, noticing how the quiet of the world mirrors the quiet within. Each heartbeat, each breath, each gentle flicker of light carries a soft lesson. That time moves steadily, that struggle gives way to reflection, and that peace is always near when observed patiently. Let us drift onward beneath these stars, carrying the calm, the quiet patience, and the gentle witnessing of time with every breath. Let your thoughts float like banners lifted softly by the night wind, tender, light, and unhurried. Now rest as the stars watch silently above the fields, as the fallen flags settle in calm, and as the world holds you in deep, peaceful sleep. The moon rises slowly over the quiet temple, its silver light spilling across the ancient stones. You float gently above the courtyards, where once the banners waved and warriors moved with steady purpose. Now all is still. The walls hold only soft shadows, the air carries only whispers of memory, and the world feels wrapped in a calm, gentle embrace. The temple's spires reach upward, catching the moonlight on their curved edges. Each stone seems to breathe softly in the cool night air, holding the weight of centuries with quiet patience. You drift past carved doors and arches, each one etched with stories of devotion, courage, and silent prayer. The night carries no urgency, only a soft, rhythmic peace, as if the temple itself is exhaling, letting the day's tension dissolve into shadow. Within the central courtyard, fountains rest, still and reflective. The water mirrors the stars above, capturing tiny points of light that dance gently across the surface. You drift over the pools, noticing the faint ripple of a breeze, the subtle reflection of the temple's columns. The sound is soft, almost a sigh, a gentle lullaby that draws the mind into quiet reflection. Each movement of water seems like a heartbeat, slow and steady, echoing the calm that stretches through the night. Lanterns hang along the corridors, their glow warm and tender. Their light stretches across the stones, softening edges, highlighting carvings of guardians, deities, and silent faces. You float among them, letting each shimmer wash over the thoughts of the day. The stories embedded in the temple, the battles, the prayers, the devotion, now feel like gentle waves carried toward the edges of memory, leaving only calm behind. From the highest towers, the wind drifts down, carrying the faint scent of incense and the earth beyond the walls. It swirls softly, brushing across the temple steps, lifting leaves and dust into tiny spirals. You follow the movement, feeling how each eddy touches the mind like a feather, softening worry, smoothing thought. Even the echoes of human voices, once strong and commanding in the courtyards, now float faintly in the distance, distant and gentle, as if the night itself absorbs them into serenity. The statues of gods and goddesses gaze silently, their faces calm beneath the moon. Their eyes, carved in stone but filled with eternal patience, seem to watch over the temple with quiet care. You drift beneath them, sensing the weight of their stillness and feel how their quiet presence turns memory of struggle into gentle reflection. Each figure radiates calm, a soft reminder that patience and devotion can transform tension into peace. Through the cloisters, you float slowly, passing spaces where monks once moved with measured steps. The floors hold the faintest traces of their passage, worn smooth by centuries of prayer. The air is still, filled with the soft fragrance of candle wax and incense, the quiet hum of devotion. You feel how their presence lingers, not as expectation, but as gentle guidance, encouraging the heart to rest, to fold inward, to breathe in the quiet. Outside, the temple gardens rest under the moonlight. Trees sway slowly, leaves brushing against each other like soft whispers. Flowers fold gently upon themselves, petals touched with silver. A small stream glides quietly through the stones, catching moonlight in delicate ripples. You follow its path, feeling how the movement carries calm, a slow rhythm that matches the steady rise and fall of the chest, the soft pulse of thought slowing toward rest. Along the outer walls, banners, now faded and still, drape quietly, touched by the cool night air. Their colors softened by time. They no longer speak of urgency or battle, only of enduring presence. You drift among them, noticing how the folds of fabric move with gentle grace, how they tell stories not of struggle, but of resilience, of memory carried softly, peacefully. Each banner becomes a tender guide, a whisper that the heart may release worry and float in calm. The temple bells, once used to mark the rhythm of the day, now rest silently. You hear only the faint echo of their voice in memory, carried lightly on the wind. Each echo is like a gentle pulse, soft and reassuring, guiding the mind into a state of ease. Time slows here. The temple holds all that has passed with patient serenity, offering a quiet refuge for thoughts to settle, for hearts to soften, for sleep to approach like a gentle tide. Through the inner halls, candles flicker faintly, their light merging with the moon's glow. Shadows play softly across the walls, tracing patterns of devotion and care. You float beneath these flickers, letting each one brush lightly against the mind. They illuminate not the urgency of life, but the gentle constancy of presence. Every carved face, every etched symbol, every stone step speaks of endurance, patience, and quiet watchfulness, teaching that peace is not fleeting, but held in the slow, deliberate care of the sacred space. A soft breeze drifts through open windows, carrying the fragrance of distant flowers, the faint warmth of earth, and the subtle rustle of leaves. You follow it through corridors and courtyards, feeling how it bends gently around pillars, slides along arches, and cradles the fallen banners. Its touch is tender, a quiet reminder that the world itself participates in rest, that nature and spirit join together in the slow, patient unfolding of night. The temple's roof catches the moonlight like silver water frozen in stone. You drift above it, noticing how the light spreads across tiles, tracing each edge, each curve, each ridge with soft illumination. The stillness of the scene is absolute, yet alive with gentle energy. It reminds the heart that even after struggle, after day and effort, there is rest. There is soft continuity, There is calm that holds everything in gentle balance. From the far corners of the temple, faint nocturnal songs rise, soft insects, the gentle rustle of small creatures, the quiet murmurs of the night. Each sound blends seamlessly with the lantern's glow, the flowing streams, and the moonlight on stone. You float in this harmony, letting it settle over the mind like a warm, soft blanket, each note a slow breath, each pause a quiet exhale. The temple holds you in its serenity, and you feel your own pulse slow, your thoughts soften, your body and mind fold gently into the quiet of night. The moon climbs higher, silvering the temple spires, the courtyards, the still fountains, the quiet gardens. You drift above all of it, feeling the gentle flow of time, the patience of stone and light, the soft witness of the statues. Here, the echoes of ancient battles dissolve completely, leaving only calm. Devotion lingers, gentle and constant, and the heart grows ready to drift into rest, cradled by the temple's enduring care. Let your mind float through the halls, the gardens, the arches, and the courtyards. Let your thoughts, like the banners and streams, settle softly, lifted by the gentle rhythm of night. Let the moonlight, lanterns, and stars carry you slowly, gently, into the tender embrace of sleep. Now rest as the temple sleeps beneath the silver gaze, as the world softens, and as your heart drifts into gentle, serene slumber.